Good evening, good afternoon, good day, depending on where you are in the world. Happy Tuesday. We're one day closer to the weekend. And just as I start my stream, my neighbor decides to mow the lawn. Isn't that amazing? Luckily, the mic isn't picking it up, so we'll move ahead. So we're watching as those flying with Jay Winokur are inbound. We see Viper Strike, and we starting to see Jay Winokur himself pop over the hill. This fine virtual sunrise here in North Africa. We're starting off here in Algiers, and we're gonna make our way down the coast of North Africa all the way to Gibraltar. So I hope you're all doing well. I can see Arbachetta, Count Zep, and Cap at 9 down there on the runway. So it's going to be a wonderful flight. Flew the first leg of this last night, and it was beautiful. So we'll start saying hello to the chat. 99 Owl is here. Guten Abend. Kozaki Flyers here. Good to see you. 6 Knots is here. Good evening. Catback 9, the legend himself, is here. Good to see you. Seamus McNeil, hello to you as well. Scorpio 49 is here also. Good evening, and everyone from Ireland. Well, good evening to you, Scorpio. Shovel Shoes is in. I'm doing well. Hope you are doing well as also. So yeah, we're kind of letting Jay Winokur and those flying with him get inbound. It's gonna be a nice flight. You're flying in the Med. It's gonna be great. But yeah, we're gonna be in the P40 today. I know a lot of folks don't have it yet, or either on the fence or this or that, which is fine. I just hope that I don't cause any stutters for people. But yeah, so like I said, we're going to be in the Big Radials P40. A beautiful machine, well designed and built. We'll unmute flight sim. We can see Viper Strike inbound. We can see Druid Zeus and those flying with Jay Winokur there in the distance. But so yeah, we're going to be flying the P40 in North Africa today because, well, why not? We got Frozen here in an MB339, and it looks like the weather is going to be absolutely beautiful. We have the time set to right about 6 a.m. in the sim. No, he's picking up the lawnmower, isn't he? That's just awesome. Thanks, neighbor. So, yeah, we're going to get inside this and get this party going as we wait for Winokur and crew to arrive. We're going to get the aircraft set up for takeoff. There. Mixtures full, props forward. Beacons on, mags to both, canopy open. That light's off, and we're going to... Frozen is here, good to see you. We don't need a pitot heat. We're not going to need the... Well, we'll turn those on afterwards. Panel lights we're going to turn on. And we'll turn those on when we get started. So clear prop. It usually helps if we turn on fuel. Got our cowl flaps open. So yeah, it's going to be a great flight. Hope everyone's well. Happy Tuesday again. It's definitely... Man, it feels like it's been a week, but it hasn't even been a week. But we're definitely getting closer to the weekend. We had Murph finishing up the Orient Express flight last night, flying in the Mooney. And we had our stream on Sunday. Tomorrow we've got Murph with the midweek shuffle. We even had a stream from Allison Johnson yesterday, doing a short leg on her Amelia Earhart flight, which was awesome. And there appears to be a cardboard Spitfire taxiing in front of us. That's kind of funny. So we are in an Australian Air Force livery because they too fought in North Africa. So we're going to really, Papa Joe. Did you make sure you made sure you weren't in group only? Because I've done that before. I'm pretty sure I'm on the East US. Yeah, I'm definitely on the East US. I'm not on group only. Papa Joe, are you able to get on Join FS? Because I can fire that up. Not set up yet. Have the ideas and stuff. Just gotcha. I see a Kingsman 9965. Well, hello. How's your Tuesday going? So we're going to taxi to our runway while we wait for Jay Winokur and crew to arrive. What a place to take a break. Two-Tone Murphy with the Two-Tone Tina emote. Papa Joby got started. Awesome. The Flying Fabio with the raid. How you doing, Fabio? Hope you're well. We're just getting started here in Algiers, flying in North Africa in a P-40. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Welcome, Raiders. What timing you have. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're feeling better. Race Division, hello, hello. Mechanical Madness is here. EL737 Fort Noob. Lolly Lol 1975. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Carrie B Twitch, hello, hello. Good to see you. Exponent Image, Race Division, feeling better. Awesome. That's good to hear, Fabio. I know you had a rough couple of days. Just glad that you're feeling better. Speed Nuts here says ahoy. Hello, hello. FS Blog, hello. Ride Pilot Randy is in. Good to see us. Scooter 7 with the woo. Jepson 2001. That P40, it certainly is. In the Australian Air Force livery. We're just taxiing for our first departure here in Algiers. Foxtrot Keen Lafford are here. Good to see you. Hope you're all doing well this fine Tuesday. It really does, Mechanical Madness. I'm actually kind of surprised that more liveries haven't been made for the P40. But I think part of that is the P40 kind of is the Americans' version of the Hawker Hurricane, where it did a lot of heavy lifting and didn't really get the love that it deserved. So I hope everyone's well. We're going to be taking off here from Algiers, making our way down to Gibraltar over the coast of North Africa and the Mediterranean. Have you seen the OZ Air Force with the T-45? I don't think I've seen it. I'll have to look that one up. Only 20 days to the Eurovision. That's almost 3 weeks. Oh yeah. Well, and we're starting here at roughly 6 o'clock in the morning. Weather is live. And it's going to be a wonderful flight. So we got a couple of follows. Geek Guy 502 with the follow, and Wolf to Fear just now with the follow. Many thanks, my friends. I hope you're both doing well, and many, many thanks for the follows. Do greatly appreciate it. There's Foxtrot with the follow. Many thanks, dude. Look at that sunrise, though. We've got Jay Winokur inbound with Druid Zeus and a few others in tow. Broskar is now following. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're doing well. How you doing? Captain Harlock with the follow. Many thanks, dude. Well, it's saying this runway's closed, but you know what? We rang them up ahead. We said, sure, look, we're trying to get from here to Gibraltar. Can we work something out? And they said, yeah, sure, go ahead. So we'll get back in the cockpit. We're going to get lined up. And we're going to hit the brakes. We're going to make sure that we are running the proper altimeter settings. So, altimeter straight and center. We're just under 100 feet elevation. We're checking everything, making sure we're good. Temperatures, pressures, flight controls are good. We're all good. So we're going to start. We'll go up to keep the stick back. So up to 40 inches of manifold pressure. Keep the wings level. Let the tail come up. Wait until we get between 100 and 110 indicated. And then we lift right off. We got a positive rate. Tap on the toe brakes. Gear coming up. 1,000 horsepower. So it looks like we got a good indication that gear is up. Fake Wayne 8. We just took off from our initial departure. There's Whack-A-Mole looking for the server. So we're getting everyone taken off here as G-Knack has just come in with the follow. Many thanks, dude. Now we're going to circle the field a few times. We're going to try and let Jay Winokur and Druid Zeus catch up. We're going to get our engine settings. We're going to dial back the RPMs to about 2,500 because we don't want to redline this thing. And we're going to keep the manifold pressure right about 35 inches. And we'll start trimming. We're also going to close the canopy now. So we're going to give the field a couple of orbits. While we wait for our friends to join us. Also, we're gonna do a little cheaty cheat and fill up on fuel. Ooh, that brings me to another point. We need to make sure our mixture goes to auto lean. So that we're not, just guzzling fuel by the gallon. Which we already kind of are, but why make a situation worse, right? Don't forget to hydrate. I'm gonna have to refill that soon. Hey, I beat my notification for hydrating. How about that? So we still got a couple of folks on the ground. We're going to keep our orbit going. Well, we may want to start angling down. We don't want to get too high in the air because we want to see the scenery, but also, not see it. We are on the East USA. Words are hard. East USA server. Just look at that sunrise, though. Look at that. We're gonna hide me. Look at that. Isn't that something? Got Arborchetta there, Scorpio, Cos Spartan 50058. That is Jay Winokur, Druid Zeus. Okay, we're gonna start turning back over the field. Just be careful with that, lolly lol. It might cause stutters for some folks. Switch to North Europe, 2 inch storage on East US. Roger that. My apologies, Capat. Okay, we can turn the landing light off. I might have to get the spit out. It's been a while. Hey, the spit's a perfect complement to the P40, my friend. So the P40 saw a lot of action in the North Africa campaign, as did the Spitfire. There we can see Jay Winokur coming in. Magenta, yep. We should be able to after this turn. I'll keep you posted all day long. Jiggle McTavish is in. How are you doing, my friend? I'm doing well. It's been a great day. It's beautiful weather outside. It's actually kind of warm. It's supposed to get into the 80s today. GNAC is waiting for the P-51. That's entirely fair. It should do. I know that Aeroplane Heaven is working on one. So there's JW. We're going to give him a flyby because, well, we can. Give him a bit of a send-off. He's finishing up his stream. And then we pull up. Do a victory roll. And now we join the magenta line. It should be just after 6 in the morning in the sim. Now looking at 20 after. Hey, there we go. There's the Thunderflies. Jay Winokur with the Roughman flight has entered your AO. Nice. We kind of gave you a send-off there, JW, as you landed. So we've got all sorts of friends with us tonight, flying over North Africa. Isn't that exciting? So the beautiful here is just terrain. Believe me, I know how to speak English. It may not seem like it sometimes, but I can. The terrain here is beautiful, is what I wanted to say. Altitude and indicated airspeed. Indicated airspeed is about 230. Altitude's about 3,500. I'm going to dial back the manifold pressure to 30 inches. We're going to keep the RPMs right at about 2,000 or 2,500. Mixture is on auto lean. Just look at that. You know, for all the gripes that we give the sim about how it can, you know, bug here, bug there, this doesn't work, that doesn't work. It's still the prettiest thing in the market. And it's just, it's scenes like this that make it easy to forgive all the flaws that it has. because this is just out of the box lighting and scenery and all that fun stuff. You can't beat that. You know, you can get X-Plane to kind of sort of look like it, or even P3D, but it just isn't the same. Not that I've got any well, it's not the same, and you have to pay a lot of money to get it to look close to this. Just look at this. I know I watched Fabio do his initial couple of flights with this, and it's just, that's one dude that knows his stuff. Look at the Thunderflies go. I mean, granted, it's always fun watching Fabio. I mean, just does a good job at what he does, and it's good to see him back. And he just had crap luck, but he just stuck with it. Hey, don't cut yourself short, Fabio. You know your stuff, and you're a good dude. Never cut yourself short, my friend. You do a lot of wonderful things, and you know, watching your videos is always a joy. I say videos and stream. Stream videos, it's 6 to 1, half dozen the other. But it just, this is such a wonderful plane. You know, and having, I mean, I've never flown a P-40 in my life. I've never, let alone a P-40 specifically. So, you know, does it have a couple of bugs here and there? Sure. What plane in Microsoft Flight Sim hasn't, including the Asobo ones? It's still just, it's a wonder to fly. It's just beautiful. It's very well made. They found a nice way to input all the realism people could want, but also make it accessible for those that don't. And that's awesome. Hammy with the work lurk. Super Typhon is also enjoying the P-40. Nice. It's a beautiful airplane. It's very well made. The textures are awesome. I'll never forget watching Fabio do his first flight of the P-40, losing his absolute mind when the gear was coming down, and the left one came down, then it was the tail wheel, and we're all waiting with anticipation for the right main gear to come down, and when it finally started coming down, just, it was awesome. Jay Winokur with the raid. So I need to do a couple of shout outs. So shout out to the flying of no space. So shout out to Flying Fabio for the first raid, and shout out to Jay Winokur for the second raid. It was Fabio. Just, I mean, the joy that you showed was infectious because it got me excited about it. And it's details like that really make things even more amazing, because it's just, you know, the little details, the heat blur coming off the exhaust, the accuracy of how the hydraulic system works with the landing gear and the flaps. It's amazing stuff. Roger that. Good to have you along, Goblin. Look at the reflections of the sun on the canopy. Look at that. You know, Jay Winokur's probably the biggest fan of the P-40 I know, and he's absolutely loving it. Oh yeah, the Allison V12. The only complaint about it is the fact that it has the engine bleed bug where it'll filter into other people's cockpits, which is, it's annoying and kind of, it's frustrating, but I can forgive that because I'm sure they'll patch it. Oh, 100%, Fabio, 100%. You know, a lot of people will complain about, oh, you know, well, it's lacking the systems and this and that, and it's like, well, that's true. It will come in time, but when the systems level matches the visual detail, that's an all immersive sim. X-Plane, from what I've seen, I've not used X-Plane before, so I'm speaking a little without direct experience. If X-Plane could look like this and have all the systems and flight modeling and whatnot, you'd have a no-brainer. At least if it came out of the box like this. But, you know, Asobo and Microsoft will get this to that point. I've no doubt. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take, you know, there's going to be some growing pains, but I've no doubt they'll get it there eventually. $100%, Fabio. And that's kind of what I'm figuring, Super Typhon, you know, and having the satellite imagery from Bing, just the lighting, the reflections, the water, all of that stuff. Once they get in DX12 and have particle effects and all that, this is going to be hard to beat. And it's just amazing. And yeah, so oh yeah, absolutely. The wonderful thing about this is the accessibility of it. X-Plane doesn't seem as easily accessible as this, where this you can just with default settings fly with an Xbox controller. You know, the cockpits are clickable and all that stuff, and it's great. And you know, it's not even a year old. At least it's not been released for a year. So they're still working on it. They're still making it better. So we just we as a community have to give it time to mature. And it's hard because, you know, everybody wants to compare it to X-Plane, which in itself is fair. But how many years has X-Plane's community had time to develop add-ons and utilities and other stuff for it? Years. And this hasn't even been out that long. So it's just phenomenal. And I think there are a lot of good things in store for Microsoft Flight Simulator. No, I do. Following, I wonder if I'm on the right group. Well, I see your name. As long as you follow the coast away from the sun, you'll be good. Look at the Thunderflies go. There's Steve Solo UK up there. We got Arborchetta, Kozaki Flyer, HCBR 1100, USA PR1, Mechanical Madness, Count Zepp, Lollylol, Scorpio, Dougal McTavish, and probably others that I can't see. We had a Kingsman at one point. There's a Papa Joe B. Well, on my screen, I'm going away from the sun. Head west. I heard this is a 5-year development. Yeah, that's why I rephrased it too. It's not even a year upon release. They had been developing for like 5 years before they announced it. Whack-A-Mole, we just need to be patient and keep supporting developers. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Goblin's still loading. Well, as long as you're going west and following the coast, Lollylol, you'll be A-okay. Fair enough. Look at this, though. I mean, how many postcard moments have we had with Microsoft Flight Sim? I still remember the time when Fabio was flying the CRJ and the light hit one of the screens and reflected and practically blinded him. And it was just, it's like, how cool is that? Uh-oh. Well, that's not good there, Kozaki. "500 feet above the water" is practically, you know, touching it. But this is just, I mean, look at that. The reflection off the water and how it interacts with the wing, and now it's coming off the fuselage and the canopy. Look at that. Everybody blinked off, but I expect they'll be back. Fat Rat CSB, hi everyone. I can remember the moment in the Spitfire 4 streamers group flight where I was blinded by the sun reflecting in Fabio's Spitfire streamer. Yeah, it's little details like that with the lighting. It's just nuts. EL737 is off. You have a good night, my friend. Stay well. Just, it's absolutely mad how good things look in this. We're starting to get into a bit of turbulence. Roger that, Dougal. See a pic somebody posted of a red moon. It looked epic. I think I've seen that one. You got that right, JW. Hey, everybody's coming back. Woohoo! This is just, you know, and then getting into the terrain mesh. Look at that. Look at that. Hey, it's Wombat. 49's here. Ah, that was Goblin with the red moon. Nice. So we need to check fuel. Ah, we're doing okay for a minute. But just this sim is just absolutely incredible. It really gives a new perspective just flying around the world and seeing the different areas and the mountains and deserts, and you know, you got Fabio doing Fabio things and his exploring of the world and the teachings of planes. We've got Murph, well, being Murph, trying to keep him away from the hot tub. Then we've got Allison Johnson, who's flying around the world following in the steps of Amelia Earhart, giving us a history there. We have Jay Winokur, who's flying warbirds and giving history along the way about the aircraft and the places that often get forgotten. We've got Ailerons into the Wind, who's really showing how VATSIM isn't as inaccessible as people think and is perfectly great for GA flying. I'm probably forgetting, we have the flight sim community is just such a wonderful group of people So many different talents doing different things and doing wonderful things. A Forder learns to fly, you know, real flight instructor, teaching people how to fly. CDL doing his thing. It's such a wonderful community, and you know, I feel honestly very blessed to be a part of it. You know, to be able to be in the community with guys like Murph and Fabio and all those guys. It's truly, you know, humbling to be a part of the community, because it's so great. We can share the world. You know, we can. I mean, look at this seamless multiplayer, flying around the world. That's awesome. Let's see. I illustrate the scatter line. Yeah. La. I mean, it really what we dreamed. Yeah. No. 100%. I remember back in like when FSX first came out, thinking, well, gosh, wouldn't it be cool if, you know, you could get Google Maps and have the satellite images of the world. And we're there. We're there. We've reached that point. Jay Whitaker says the hot tub with Murph is a losing battle. You're not wrong. It really shows how big the planet really is to me. 100%. You know, I remember thinking FSX was the baddest thing out there. And then a couple months after MSFS came out, I went and flying in FSX over Ireland. The whole place just looked like a desert in winter. I'm just like, this doesn't look anything like Ireland. It looks nothing like Ireland. And I haven't gone back since. The other sims aren't multiplayer, if I'm not wrong. Not by default. FSX has it, or at least had it. Steam Edition, anyway. But it wasn't quite the same. It wasn't... They just did it differently. As far as I know, X-Plane doesn't outside of VATSIM or JoinFS. But this is just absolutely seamless. Two-tone Juniker, it's gonna happen. Not if we can help it, Murph. We're gonna save you from that. If we have to get Fabio involved to stop you, then again, he may help you, so we'll see. But we just have such a wonderful community with the flight sim community. Citizen 6 converted from a Prime Gaming sub to a Tier 1. Well, many thanks, dude. That's very kind of you. I don't know why that doesn't get an alert, but I saw it in the chat, so many thanks, dude. Pilgrim Father is now following. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're well. Here come the Thunderflies. Yeah, now we even have guys with, like, Gripper Sim, you know, getting into the streaming part of the flight sim community, and, you know, he's doing, you know, a good job with that. As Fat Rat CSB is now following. Many thanks, dude. Hope you're well. Those were the Thunderflies, the in-house demonstration team from the Flying Circus of Two-Tone Murphy, who have been setting the flight sim world on fire. Very carefully. A lot of practice. Very distracted today, but wanted to make sure I didn't miss the reset. Well, much appreciated, citizen. That means an awful lot to me. Speed check. Indicating 230, 225, give or take. We're going to check fuel. We're going to switch tanks. We're going to go to tank 2. Yet the flies made me get the MB339 and I didn't regret it. Yeah, no, the MB339 is a beautiful little airplane. Yeah, it's a great little jet. You know, especially for, like, before the MB339 and before this, I never really spent a whole lot of time flying jets because I don't know what I'm doing. I've always flown Cessnas. So anything without a prop, I'm kind of lost on how they work. Once I got involved with, like, the two-tone community and started to be like, oh, that looks like a neat jet, I'll give it a shot. Hooked. Too old for this. Me as a German must say Google Maps would be way better than Bing Maps. You're not wrong, too old. Even my home state of Michigan has more photogrammetry cities than Bing does, but it's just, with the way it works, it's just not going to happen. It's kind of annoying, but what can you do? One thing I wanted to say about the community, I love the global nature. Not much gets you conversations with a couple of dozen different countries on a normal morning. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I've learned more about Ireland and the UK and Europe as in general, you know, being involved with Murph's community, at least in a specific sense, than I ever have before. And it's awesome. That jet is so nimble but still stable, great to fly low through. Absolutely. It has the maneuverability and it has the stability, so it just doesn't have the speed, which is fine. It doesn't need the speed. It's perfect the way it is for what it does. Got Captain Jack Lyle up there. Hey, Jay Winokur's still flying with us. There's Mechanical Madness. Look at the Thunderflies. That's awesome. Goblin Zeus also learned about quite a number of countries, and it really is. In addition, this community and game thankfully has little to no competition at competitive aspects, so practically no hate speech in contrast with so many games. It's definitely, what's the right word? It's a more mature atmosphere by and large. You still get the occasional Egypt that wants to, you know, it doesn't know any better, that likes to press buttons and try to do stupid stuff. But I mean, that's going to happen anywhere. But the ratio of that to, you know, normal thinking, mature adults is, there's way more mature discussion in Flight Sim. Alright, I'm gonna have to refill my water bottle when we get down to our first stop. Ooh, wind's starting to shift. Clouds are starting to move in. There's Jay Winokur right there. So, fun note about the P-40. The livery I have, it would technically be referred to as a Tomahawk. Jay Winokur over there, who is either in a pre-war or Pearl Harbor era scheme, is in a Warhawk. The Americans never referred to the P-40 as anything but the Warhawk. The Russians and the UK and Commonwealth countries called the early models the Tomahawk and the later models the Kitty Hawk. The Americans only ever called it the Warhawk. So that's just a fun note. Draco Sensei's in. Good to see you, dude. Dougal McTavish, Colonel Forky, I wish to publicly thank you guys for helping me through the very dark and difficult time in my life. I'm glad to hear that, Dougal. I'm honored that you thank me for that. I mean, I see myself as not really doing a whole lot. I'm just a dude having fun flying flight sim with people, and I'm glad that I could help you through that, my friend. Jay Winokur is in the Flying Tigers. "100% Citizen 6. 100%. Ooh, Mechanical Madness. What are you flying?" Put the Red Moon. Nice. And there go the Thunderflies. Nicely done. Look at this. They really are, Dougal. I was a little surprised to learn that the cooperative aspect extends so much to developers too. Well, I've been in and around general aviation my whole life, and there's always been some sense of, you know, helping each other out with something, whether it's information, a little bit of elbow grease, maybe a part here and there. Especially when you start getting into the home built community. Holy cow, you know, that itself is, you know, just such a generous community. You know, and flight sim is kind of an extension to that. That's one of the reasons why I love going to Oshkosh too, is because you get the EAA is all about, you know, well, they're the Experimental Aircraft Association, but, you know, having their EAA Air Venture, you know, you got all kinds of workshops on how to do this, how to do that, how to build and maintain, and just about anything you can do to an airplane, you can learn it there at Air Venture, and that's awesome. You know, being able to share that knowledge, it's just absolutely huge. Yeah, and I think in and of itself, flight sim is somewhat unique in a lot of respects, being the extension of real world flying, because it kind of bridges the gap, as it were. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to just goof around in this flight sim. Next thing you know, they're going out and getting a pilot's license, or buying a home built, or getting an ultralight, or they're getting into real world aviation, and which is just, it's mind boggling. Obviously, flying in the real world's a really expensive thing, but just to see that whole thing just come together is just, it's really great. And I mean, look at what Fabio does with all his real world knowledge, and he streams it and shares it with everybody. That's amazing. You know, I've learned more about FMS systems and flying airliners than I ever thought of from watching Fabio and 757 Spy. But the way Fabio just shares the information, tells it to you in a way that's easy to understand, and he'll break it down. And he does it for nothing. He just does it to share it and be an awesome dude. Where else can you get that sort of thing? You're not going to see MLG, you know, Call of Duty players sharing all their secrets like that. Yeah, Dougal, what Murph said. I'm just glad that I can be here for you, dude. I mean, I'm a small fish in the sea, and I'm just glad to have people in the chat. And it's just the flight sim has changed my life in a lot of ways. It's kept me, being flight sim itself and being a part of the community has kept me out of dark places. And it's not hard for me to get into a dark place. And I've got some deep dark places. But the sim and the community has helped me become a better person and helped me not be as depressed as I've been. And that's huge. This time last year, let's see, late April, when the lockdowns are starting to happen, and there's a lot of uncertainty in the world. And, I didn't know what my job was going to do, and they were making all kinds of changes here and there. And it was just absolutely just stressful. It really is, Foxtrot. Draco says, people into aviation and flight simming are a bit of a different breed. Literally, yeah, 100%. But the community's helped me stay out of some dark places. Knowing it's mind-boggling to me that I've helped people stay out of their dark places, and it's fantastic. When the lockdown started to happen, I eventually, just ended up getting fired outright in May of last year, and that sent me down a deep dark hole. Then a couple months later we got flight sim, and I got involved with two-tone. Oh, that sounds good. My life has become been put into a better place because of the flight sim community, because guys like two-tone and Fabio and just the community around it, guys like Dangerous Brian and Ailerons in the Wind, Allison Johnson, Stuart Payne, Dougal, the list goes on, and it's amazing. It really is. Oh yeah, everywhere from 12-year-old squeakers to retirees. It's mind-boggling. It's such a big community. It really did, Lollylol. It really did. Between everybody getting locked inside and, things like suicides and other domestic problems increased because of all the lockdowns, and it's been stressful on everybody. But things like flight sim has been a nice escape and a nice way to not feel so isolated. It really is, Dougal. It really is. Like, I need to get over to Europe and meet everybody over there. Shoot, I need to drive 5 hours and, have a pint or a cup of coffee or something with Fabio when we, are able to. And I'm not, I'm probably equidistant to Coffee House. And there's a guy that's, flying an ultralight cross country. I think he was in Arizona today. Just look what he's doing. Everybody's doing something different and unique. I remember this time last year, most of the streamers that were doing flight sim is all airliners, which is great and all, but I don't have any connection to airliners. And then I saw Murph. Well, he's flying GA. He's like one of 3 people doing GA, and the other 2 were, doing silly flying. I'm watching Murph, and I was like, this guy's legit. Hey, you know, this Ireland place looks pretty awesome. You know, and you know, 9 months later, here we are. Tarnished Mossman is in. Hello, hope all is well. What server? We are on the East US server. It seems to be cooperating for now, at least for most of us. Hope you're well, my friend. I forgot what a pandemic is. It is a bit windy on live. They get better every time. It really was. It had the, pardon me. It had the perfect storm, as it were. And, you know, I find it difficult to believe they didn't realize that. But all things considered, it really came out at the right time, and it really connected a lot of people that needed to have the outlet of being able to connect with other people, being able to have that interaction. It's, you know, it's just been phenomenal. I can't really. I'm just gonna end up talking in circles about how great everything is with the community. And I mean, you get the idiot here and there, but that's anywhere. I was amazed how much sim hardware was sold during that time. Everything, yeah, still kind of is to a large degree. It was great, yeah, great for small businesses in that respect, to a certain degree. Yeah. And be exactly Irish Flyer too, to be able to travel even if it's virtually. And it's never, flight sims have never looked better out of the box than this. You know, between the satellite imagery and whatnot, it's never been better. Law reverted the flight. Roger that, JW. Everyone upside down. Well, because you asked nicely, and we're in a P40. Yeah, Duncan, it's not that much better over here in the U.S. either. And especially even when you get into online retailers, it's kind of sparse at the minute. We're pushing 6,000 feet. We need to get ourselves down. Duncan's looking for the Airbus stick. Yeah, that's a big popular one. I was looking for a graphics card, and even with the huge prices, yeah. I mean, on and off, I've looked for radio panels from SciTech, or you know, rudder pedals. You know, I would love to be able to get a set of Thrustmaster TPRs, because those things look amazing. I was fortunate I was able to get a honeycomb yoke. I found the SciTech throttle quadrant. I had to go to eBay to find a nice HOTAS. And it's just it's hard. It's hard to find stuff. I mean, and it's easy to blame a distributor, but it's, you know, like CPUs. You know, they're having trouble getting the silicon. With hardware, you know, manufacturing places are, you know, having to reduce staff hours or reduce staff just to be in compliance with, you know, safety guidelines or that sort of thing. So it makes it harder to put out as much product as they used to. A bit of everything. A lot of the stuff I have, I wanted to find some TPR pedals at a decent price, but right now they're going for $700-800. the big thing that I need right now is an ergo chair. This chair that I'm in kind of is not great because it leans to the right when I lean back. I'd love to get the ergo chair 2. It has a high weight capacity, which I need, but has a long sit time. It's just not a cheap chair. So we're getting close to DA14. It's right about where Draco is. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a low pass over, see if we can catch the windsock, and then flip around and make a landing on whatever runway we can determine is the best one. So we'll go ahead and open the canopy. Look at that. Well, I mean, you can keep flying if you want to, but I'd like to record people's landings. I'm just not sure what runway we're going to pick now. Look at this. Shimmy 6 Meal with the 25 bucks. Many thanks, my dude. There's a message attached to it that I couldn't read, but I will definitely be putting that towards the chair. Many thanks, my dude. Dougal saying showing a 30 knot headwind here. Ooh. Straight in looks good. Roger. I think P40 needs a lot more rudder dancing. How's this? Aha, Seamus. Well, it shall go towards that, my friend. Yeah, you're not on real world weather. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna reduce speed. Reduce to about 20 inches of manifold. Just gonna see if we can't find a windsock. Oh no! Scorpio with the dreaded 3-letter event. Got a Randy Marsh, a Papa Joe, a Count Zepp, a Draco. We got Thunderflies flying past. Says having land. Well, that's a fair point. That is a very. Oh, we got a MiG-15. We still got some folks flying along. So we're looking for about 170 for gear extension. Airfield's probably right where that glob of name tags is. Look at him go. So again, we're going to fly low, see if we can see the windsock. The company finally agreed to replace that faulty window. Huzzah! That's awesome to hear, Dougal. Right, that's out. I'm going to have to refill. So we're going to do a fly past low, check the windsock. Ooh, there's a bump in the air. Glad I got the honeycomb yoke a few months in advance before I do not. The people are starting to get their Bravos as Irish Flyer 2 is now following. Many thanks, dude. Okay, so low pass time. Just checking for a windsock. Here's a windsock. Yeah, roger that. So we're gonna turn around and land on 2-3. So we will turn to runway 23. Gear's gonna come down now. We're gonna increase the throttle so that we don't lose. We're going to put RPMs to full. We're going to go to full rich. A lot of up trim. Lots of flaps down. Got the landing zone in sights-ish. More notch of flaps. Want to keep the speed up until we get over the threshold. Okay, one more notch. Should be the last notch. Start pulling back, pushing forward on the stick. There's amounts of air. The runway. Keeping that back pressure on the stick, keep that nose up. Left Rudder, keeping her straight, keeping her straight. Look at him go. A little bit of brake. And we're down. How about them apples? Flaps coming up. We'll get turned around, shut the engine down so we actually get the flight counted regardless. Okay. Parking brake on. Mixture. Mags. Okay, got enough. So, over here. Getting that. Doing this. This button. So, did I not bump that up a little bit? Here comes Dougal. We got Draco down. We've got you down. There's Dougal. So, a bit of a visual bug in multiplayer with the P40, but I can forgive it. Ooh, there's Draco and a Corsair. So, runway 23 is cleared for landing. Ah, that was Count Zepp. And Mechanical Man is parked right next to myself. There's Tarnish 42. Whoops. Got a TBM. Papa Joe B. There's a P40. Glad you enjoyed it, Mechanical. Ooh, and the Spit. So P40 is Spit, Red Pilot, Randy, and Druid. Hold on to her, Druid. You got it. We got Lolly Lol. We've got a Wacamo. Got another P40 inbound. It's Roger RC. Nicely done. Oh no! Yeah, 100% mechanical. Makes your soul at ease or puts your soul at ease. Pardon me. Let's see, who do we have here? Scorpio's in. So we're going to scooch over the camera a little bit. Ooh, there's a Mooney. Arbachetta. A little bit of a bounce. Here's the Thunderflies with their formation landing. Nice. Yeah, me too, Rad Pilot Randy. It's been so long since I've flown the Spit a lot. I ended up flying the Corsair so much. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. They just do. Alright. I'm going to do the same there, Kozaki. So I'm going to restart the sim. I'm going to reload load the next leg of the flight plan. I'm also going to refill my water bottle once I get that rolling. Alright, so we do that. Hope everybody's been enjoying North Africa. We've got 2 more legs and we'll end in Gibraltar. Forgot to hold back on the set. Whoops. That's okay. That's how we learn. Keep reaching for my water bottle and I remember it's out. So that was a lot of fun. I do thank everyone for joining me on that leg. We got 2 more to go. Just waiting on the old simulator. Have they fixed multiplayer is look at the draw? Well, yes and no. They haven't fixed it, but we've kind of figured out what really is what's causing it. So it's still kind of luck of the draw. What's basically causing it is planes and liveries that aren't on the Microsoft servers at all. And if somebody doesn't have it, Microsoft, the simulator doesn't know what to do, so it just kind of goes, it freaks out, and that's what the stutters are. So it's basically what I've done anyway. I have all of my liveries installed, but I don't use them. Even something as simple as the stock C172 Steam gauge can cause stutters on some people's systems. Like those that don't have the Premium Deluxe or the Deluxe or Premium Deluxe aircraft, if they've just got the base edition and somebody's running Premium Deluxe aircraft, that can cause stutters. It's really weird. But as far as I'm aware, they're working on it and they're plugging away. Roger that, lol. Kozaki, aluminum, cans. Well, I know. I much prefer things in plastic bottles if I can get it. This is a once a day thing. Well, there's 2 verticals here. 1 meg, and it seems to, yeah, it's really weird. And the P40 is not in it. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I'm not claiming to understand it, but that's kind of what we've figured out so far, I guess. Goblin Zeus, I observed yesterday closely stutters and blinking tags. Stutter stopped with the blinking stopping several times yesterday. I don't think I've installed the Vertigo. Just didn't suit my fancy. Right, while that's loading up, I'm going to take a short moment and refill my water bottle. So I will be right back. All right. Water is now had, and we can load up the sim. Or, well, the flight plan. Load the flight plan into the sim. I can words good. We'll put it about 7:30. Lima. So how's everybody's Tuesday going? Have you had tacos for Taco Tuesday? Or is you treating it like a regular Tuesday? Which to me, a regular Tuesday is just still another Taco Tuesday. I like tacos. I've been eating chicken tacos lately. Just trying to, you know, eat a little bit healthier. I didn't do the thing. I did the thing that I shouldn't have done. I'll allow it. Ooh, asparagus. I love good asparagus. Like fresh asparagus, and it's cooked where it's soft enough to get a fork into it and not fall off of it, but not so soft where it's like mush. Now I want asparagus. Actually, I really want a big old steak. That's what I really want. Foxtrot, we have done some experimenting with the multiplayer stuttering. Read someone's overview and tried to validate it. Turns out if someone in multiplayer is flying the same plane as you, but with a livery you do not have installed on your machine, it causes the other person's name tag to flash and causes your machine to stutter. Interesting. Jay Whitaker, kind of have the taste for steak too. Yeah, that sounds so good, but I have to wait until tomorrow. Night Owl, there are stalls all over the place where you can buy direct from the farmers. Oh, for sure. That does make a lot of sense, Floxtrot. As long as Osobo knows that that's the problem, then hopefully they can get a fix out soon. Okay, so first things, fuel goes to the fuselage tank. We talked to the FBO, we're going to fill up. I'm going to put mixture to full. Prop goes to full. So the person's name tag that is flashing, they have a livery, you do not. Gotcha. Well, I guess for me, anyway, that's the wrong one. That means that me having all of my liveries installed makes me pretty safe, I guess. Not so much for other people, though. Beacon, Masters, both. Put it in to send us with all the information my testing plus with the email saying they are aware and working on it. Very interested in that, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna look up clear prop. And we've got her started up. Parking brake coming off. This one vertigo is stopping, so clearly turns out us texting and taking off with it. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it, Lollylol. That engine's like a honey badger. There we go. I have another bug. Well, I will see default planes that come with the sim as generic, even though my use generic for multiplayer is off. Anyone else have this? Murph did at one point. I can't say as I've had it directly, but I remember before the initial hotfix, Murph had that problem. I've already made the mistake with the parking brakes. Yeah. Keep the stick back. Start turning. So for this departure, we're gonna just head straight en route, or en route. I actually just stalled in MSFS for InSpit. Oh, geez. So we won't circle the field, but we'll try to keep it a reasonable speed for people to catch up. We will continue to be following the coast. Okay, so we'll stop there and check our trim settings. We want 3 degrees there. 2 degrees there. I'm sitting next to the flying circus. They are impressive. And thunderflies are amazing. So keeping the stick back, slowly advance the throttle to 40 inches of manifold pressure. Right rudder. Not too much. Right aileron. Let the tail come up. Keep back pressure. 110. We lift off. Gear coming up. Look at that. Look at it. It's just neat how the landing gear works, because the Hellcat also had a similar style of mechanism. 40 works just fine there, JW. Makes it a little easier to manage the rudder too. So we're going to go ahead and dial back to 35. Dial back the RPMs to 2500. And we're going to go back to auto lean. Set pitch trim. If there's anyone in the chat not able to connect to the Two-Tone Murphy Join FS server, please can you try after the stream? Several people have already tried today with success. Let us know if you're still having problems. So yeah, Join FS is it's a workaround. It's a plan B. Excuse me. For the Microsoft servers, it's more reliable. It's not without its own set of difficulties, but it's a nice workaround, and it can kind of give better control over the multiplayer experience. I need to neutralize rudder trim. But it's great, and we've been doing a lot of testing. We've been using it a lot over the last couple of weeks with the Microsoft issues that we're finally getting sorted out. And hopefully Thursday, with the development update, we'll get some sort of news as to what they're going to do for a patch. So we'll cross our fingers. Look, their gear's down. Look at all those fireflies with us. This is awesome. So we don't want to get up to 6,000 feet. That's just too dang high. We want to get this thing low. This is just beautiful. Doing a wing wave for those flying at home. The next field we're landing at is Golf Echo Mike Lima. So I believe I used Delta Alpha Oscar Echo as just a waypoint. So we'll just fly over that. Look at this. And this area hasn't even been touched yet by any kind of world updates. Yet. And it already looks amazing. I'm hearing jet noises. This is just... Oh, this I wonder if this is an oil refinery. Foxtrot has to bail. Work meeting kicking off at the top of the hour. I'm glad that he did as well. You take care, Foxtrot, and thanks for coming and sticking with the raid, flying along, and just being there in chat. You have a good work meeting, dude. It's just cool. There's the Thunderflies doing their Thunderfly thing. That'd make sense. I don't want to get too far off the line. Let's see. Let's load up the thing. Skylifter. That's Panama, not... No, that was Istanbul, rather. No. That wasn't helpful. So we'll check Bing. 500. Alright, so let's look at the map. Ainbaya. A-I-N space B-Y-A. At least that's the name of the nearest city. We are in Algeria, the country. So we started off in Algiers. I think our next stop is Oran. Probably should have looked a lot of this up beforehand. Let's see. Stop in GMFO, GEML. Let's see. GEML. So our next stop is going to be in Melilla, which I believe is, they have a major port there, and during the war, the Vichy French had they had their navy, a good chunk of their navy ported there, and the British were trying to be like, look, you know, move your ships away from there, you know, get out of there, whatever, you know, we'll give you amnesty, this, that, or the other thing, and they wouldn't do it. And I'm probably telling the story very wrong. But they ended up getting blasted, just because they were the Vichy French were sided with the Germans, not necessarily because they wanted to be, but that's just the way it was. And so France's navy got pretty well demolished there. Aha. So that was a look at this coastline, though. Look at the coastline and look at all these folks, wonderful folks flying along. It's no worry. Look, the wartime, it was a rough time on everybody. A lot of things happened that a lot of people wish hadn't happened or hadn't needed to happen. Or maybe this was the port I was thinking of. I don't remember anymore. My memory is Swiss cheese. I'll have to consult with Jay Winokur and Maritime Horrors about that port. Yeah. The war was a mess. Well, I mean, I think we can all agree the war was a mess. I don't even remember, dude. It was where the French Navy got blasted by the Brits. I'm starting to feel like this was the port. We're near Iran. Like Iran, except for O instead of I. And because I'm me, I had to wonder. I wonder if there are seagulls in Iran. Because if there's a flock of seagulls in Iran, then it works with the song. I ran so far away. There's a Corsair. Nice. The Toulon Airport. Look at that Corsair flown by a Dorico. That's a beast of a machine, the Corsair. Beautiful beast, but a lot of engine in that thing. The Toulon port, Roger, yeah. That sounds right. There's the Thunderflies. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going up. They're going for a loop. Round and round they go. Where they stop, nobody knows. Ah, Toulon. Gotcha. Now, mechanical, if you're in a spit, I must not have your livery or an updated livery of whatever you're flying in. La made the worst landing in a long time. Uh-oh. There's a reminder to stay hydrated. It's easy to forget to drink a little bit of water through when you're flying. I know I would forget my head if it weren't attached to my body. Standard V101. Did they release a patch recently? For the Spit? A while back. Okay, so you're running the same version as me. That's interesting. Because I have the version that was posted right like the morning of the big Spitfire mass flight, shortly after the release. So that's interesting that I don't see your Spitfire. I do know that there's some coding issues or some CFG issues with the Irish Air Corps livery at one point. Just want to stand there. That's weird. I don't know. It's weird. I'm just gonna run with its weird and just let it be a thing. Because there ain't no use in sweating it. You're here, you're flying, and we're all having a grand time. That's what's important. This is just awesome. So this was going to be the flight that we flew last Tuesday. I almost said Saturday. But I wanted to I wanted to wait for the release of the P-40 because it just was more appropriate. I could have done it in the Spit, but I'm just glad that I waited for the P-40 because this is just a beautiful, beautiful aircraft. Very well done. And I believe next Tuesday we are flying in Brazil. Of course, Friday. I don't remember the last time I streamed on a Friday. Thursday, we're continuing our Chase the Cup series. We're going to be heading to Kansas. Then, of course, Sunday is a continuation of our epic U.S. cross country, the last leg of the first half. We're going to go from Elko, Nevada, all the way to Yuba City, California, with a stop in Reno. Check out the air races. Definitely getting bumpy the further west we go. You have a good one, Shuffle Shoes. You stay well, and we'll catch you. Uh-oh, Dougal's out of gas. No. That's a good reminder to check your fuel. We've got a bit left. This is just cool. See, and you can't get this in any other sim. Not as seamlessly and awesome. This is just cool. This is just so good. You know, you look at the water, you can see the different currents. It really is, Seamus. It really is. That's probably an oil refinery or a power plant of some kind. Keep getting further and further away from the Magenta line, and I don't mean to. Just look. My mistake. The British sunk a French fleet at Mer el Kabir, Algeria, 1940. But the French scuttled the French fleet in Toulon before the Germans took them in 42. Aha! So, I'm not going to open that. Okay, that was less than helpful, so please have the answer being... nope, that's France, not Algeria. There we go, look at that. Stop going that way, airplane. Okay, that was Iran. Okay, Mar El Kabir. Okay, so we did fly over it. We did fly over the Mar El Kabir thing. Pretty sure. When we were over Oran. History is fun. Just look at this. We're on auto lean. Props, RPMs are back. Manifold pressure's back. We're still indicating we're in a slight descent. That would do it. But to have this kind of experience and bring a lot of people together is just amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. Let's see, I was super close to crashing into the sea. Woo! Good to hear that you saved it, though. Let's see, proximity chat would be nice. It'd also be nice if they had integrated radio instead of push to talk, tune to a frequency, and there you go. U.S. Navy ventilated some French battleships during Torch 2. Aha. Operation Torch. Look at this landscape, though. There's some images on the discords of Jeppesen 2001 airport done for Katie Pilot. Katie Pilot? Pilot Katie? Katie Pilot. And it looks absolutely stunning. There's the Thunderflies. And Roger RC. Just awesome stuff. They get better every time that we see them, and they're practicing and flying every day. 8, I think the French battleship Richelieu was there with the US and UK. Sure, I don't know. Gonna get a little close to the coastline here. Yes, says Jay Winnicker. So we're just nudging the stick because she's trimmed out fairly well. We're just trimming the stick to kind of motivate her to get a little closer to the coast. Look at that. We've got P-40s, we've got Corsairs, we've got Spitfires, we've got MB-339s. There's some TBMs in there. There's a turboprop VL3 Velocity, the velocity vortex, forget what it's called, but it starts with a V and is fast. Look at that Corsair, though. Vertigo, that's the thing. I remembered it started with a V. It was something. This is just nuts. So we're getting close to our next waypoint, so we'll keep trying to keep it in a right-hand bank, banking to starboard. This is just incredible. I mean, I don't even have the words to really say it. Just it is such great scenery. You know, and not far that way. It's just desert. The P40 model for MSFS does not seem to be having a problem with the temperature. No, the P40s actually thrived real well in the North Africa campaign. The Allison engine, it wasn't great. It wasn't a great performer at high altitudes. As we change fuel or change tanks, it wasn't great at high altitudes. But once you got it below 10,000 feet, it performed actually very well. And it could even outturn a 109 if you kept the nose down. Look at him go. You know, I never did turn on my little light. This little light of mine, sitting over here doing a whole lot of nothing. And I lost the diffuser. Oh. Let's see. Chasing the grooves down after some misadvantage on restart. Ooh. Come on, stick. No. Crud. To make a flight level change down in the vertical, you have to reduce throttle to 24%, 37 degrees of flaps, and it still goes 140 knots. Dang. So bear with my technical issues. Now I'm just dropping everything. I keep it professional here on this show. There we go. That's better. Alright, now we can, you know, totally not... Look at that. I will tell you, the P40 is one of the best experiences that I've had flying in VR. It's right up there with the Corsair and the Spit. I mean, getting in a 172 and being in VR is immersive as all get out. It's great. I don't think I've taken either of the Piper Arrows up in VR yet. But you know, VR in and of itself is a great experience. But to do it in a warbird is just, it's on a whole other level. Because most of us can't even dream of being able to fly one of these things. So getting the chance to do it in the sim is just awesome. I mean, I've flown the MB339 in VR, and it's fun. I've flown the F-15 in VR, and that's a giggle. But nothing. The warbirds, they're their own separate thing when it comes to flying in VR. Just because they're warbirds, I've been fortunate enough to be able to sit in a lot of different warbirds. Particularly a lot. I think I've sat in most of the Grumman cats. I've sat in a Wildcat, a Hellcat, and a Tomcat, and a Tiger Cat. I haven't sat in the F-11 or the F-8F. But I've sat in all the other ones. Tell you what, sitting in the Tomcat, awesome experience. Good evening to you, Johnny Aardvark. Hope you're doing well. Try the Blériot VR. I've got to. Yeah, Lolly, sitting in an F-14 is pretty neat. My local air museum has an F-14 on static display. And I want to say late 90s, early 2000s. They do this series, they have open cockpit weekends from time to time. I don't think they really did it last year because of reasons. But the Tomcat itself, because it's still owned by the Navy, they ended up putting back in their late 90s, early 2000s, they had it opened up for, folks to sit in it. And me and my grandpa were there. We got to sit in it, front and back seat. Neat experience. Ended up in the local paper. They misspelled my last name, but whatever. And look at that. But it was quite the experience. And then, I don't know, a number of years ago now, the Navy said, yeah, let's not do that again in the F-14. No, static display, la. I wish it were flying. Big Tone 66 is here. Not sure about P40. Well, the TBM works. The Corsair and Spit work if you've got them. The MB339's well enough okay. I've not heard of any reports of stuttering. If there has been stuttering, nobody said anything. Yeah, just this scene with this music. Hide me. "100% Brad Pilot, Randy." Oh no, what happened to Count Zap? Yeah, neither have I, Goblin, so, cross fingers, knock on wood, toast somebody. That things have been working real well. And while riding that, I rebounded on the water. Nice. Every time I think I'm done being impressed with the Thunderflies, they make it. I know, right? Dougal, they're absolute machines, and they never fail to impress. This is just, you can kind of see how the camouflage almost blends in. Pardon me. This is just insane. This is what happens when an old fool gets too cheeky. This is just cool. This is just insanity with how beautiful it is. It's crazy. I know. And I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just awesome stuff. The sun is setting right in front of me. I bet. Inverted fly past. I see Yardvark. They're keeping up foreign relations, or international relations, or foreign relations. They've got Polaroids. That's it. I'm gonna start telling young people that back when I was a kid, I had a case of Polaroids, and see what happens. Try to convince them it was a nasty plague. You'll never hear about it because it was just it was so bad that they covered it up so thoroughly. Look at this. This is just... I can't stay frustrated at this sim for very long because it always finds a way to look amazing and make me love it more. I can't stay mad at you. Morocco. Play some maracas in Morocco. So we're going to make a right turn following the coastline, and it won't be that long before our next stop at GEML, Golf Echo Mike Lima. There we go. I don't know what the weather is. Ooh, Sim, what you doing? That's very true, Whack-A-Mole. So what is the weather in GEML? GEML. Not that the sim's going to replicate it. Winds are 270 at 9. And that's from 1700 Zulu, so that's kind of old. So we've got to open. Well, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's see. No weather. Awesome. That's great. That's helpful. I don't have a specific number, Randy, but quite a lot. And I'm happy to have every single one of them. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing that we did at our last stop. We're going to open that. We're going to dial back the manifold pressure. We're going to do a low pass, look for a windsock, and figure out which runway to land on. Because it's either 1.5 or 3.3. Doesn't it though? Down to 20 inches of manifold. They really do crosswind either way. Well, we want the least amount of crosswind we can get. Nice runway tucked nicely into the city. We are in was that Melilla in Morocco. Looks like a straight crosswind regardless. So what we'll do, we'll just do a straight in. We'll do a round. Even my wife stands behind me to watch the thunder flies when I shout. Nice. That's when you know you're doing it right. Okay, we're looking for 170. Want to increase that. Airfield in sight. Lolly's going in. Close enough. Gear coming down. There's the last one. Make sure full rich. And one notch of flaps in. See Dougal coming in. Adjusting trim so we still have some rudder or elevator authority. Got a couple of folks down now. Get another notch of flaps down. we're not going to go full flaps until the last possible second. There's Cap at 9. Lollalaw is landed. Add a bit more elevator trim. And last notch of flaps. Add a little bit of power. Keep that nose up. Look at the Thunderflies do their thing. Right on cue. Like that. And we're down. Light on the toe brakes. Look at that. With a crosswind even. Whew. She's a fun challenge. Flaps coming up. Go over here and park. There's Red Pilot Randy in. Papa Joe B's in. Okay. Do that. Get that. Mixture goes off. Mags off. Avionics and Masters off. Gonna hit that button. We're going to hit that button. And that button. Close that. Hide me. And we'll get ourselves positioned for runway 33, open for landings. At your discretion. So our next stop from here will be Gibraltar, which will be another nice challenging of a landing. Challenge of a landing or challenging of a landing? Challenging landing. We'll go with that. Cap at 9's in with the spit. Very nice. You have a good one, 6 knots. Thanks for flying along. Glad you enjoyed it. Ooh, there's a bit of a bounce by Whack-A-Mo. Draco's in with the Corsair. Nicely done. There's a P40 of Druid Zeus. Oh, keep that stick back. Keep that stick back. Nicely done by everyone so far. Here's an MB339 of Roger RC. Oh, there's another Corsair of Korzaki. I won't be able to do the last leg. Just watching. No worries, Lollylol. Glad you were able to fly as long as you could. Hold on to her, Kozaki. You got it. You got it. You got this. There's the Thunderflies with the formation landing. Test Pilot 72, Frozen, Masonic Lake, Steve Solo UK, HCBR 110, Wombat 49, and Yardvarker in the 339s. Very well done by everyone thus far. We got Sean Legoman coming in. We'll wait for you, Sean. Look at this landscape, though. Imagine living here. And I don't know what life is like in Morocco, but just going on the scenery here, it's amazing. It's got lights on, or he has lights on. He's losing altitude. Kind of looks like a UFO right now. This whole place is surrounded by a huge fence in real life. I believe it. There we go. He's loading in now. Curious if P40... Yeah, it's a bug that I'm sure they're well aware of and will fix soon. Sean Lego Man in the Bonanza. Nicely done. Many Africans try to get in to be on EU soil. Aha. That's me done for the night. Think well done to the Fireflies and Great. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for flying along. You have a great evening, and we'll catch you next time as the Thunderflies line up. I'll let them do their thing, and I've got to do my thing. So we're going to switch to this screen right now. And we're going to reboot the sim. And load in the last leg of tonight's flight from here in Morocco all the way to Gibraltar. Okay, Very, very grateful for everyone flying along, watching along, and having the fun. Does mean an awful lot to me. Everyone, all the new subscribes, and all the ones scrolling? Yeah, scrolling across your screen. It means an awful lot to me that each one of you are here. And you like my content enough to contribute. It's in no way required, but it is a nice gesture to have shown. Even the follow, even just being in the chat's enough for me, but it's mind-boggling that people like me that much. Big Tone, lately I have been, just because it helps stave off CTDs, because there's issues and fights over bandwidth and such with OBS. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it isn't, so sometimes I just reboot every leg just in case. Make sure that this is... Silly chair make me do weird things. Yeah, I need to mess with it a little more. I think we'll also opt out here. Thank you for the flight and good night to everyone. You have a nighty night, nighty night. Thank you for coming along, flying, and chatting in, well, the chat. It's very awesome of it. You take care. We'll catch you on the Discords and on the streams for sure. Always happy to have you along. Just waiting on the old blue line to load up. Hope everyone's enjoying their Tuesday. I hope everyone's going to have a wonderful Wednesday. We're getting so much closer to the weekend already. I can feel it. See it in the distance. Look forward to what Murph has in store for the midweek shuffle. He always has a great flight plan. Then we'll be back on Thursday for the Chase the Cup series as we head to Kansas. Dougal says, got stutters suddenly. Ooh. G-Slayer's in. How you doing? Frozen has subscribed at Tier 1 for 3 months. Many thanks, Frozen. That means an awful lot. Glad to have you along. Your flying skills and that of the Thunderflies are second to none. And the subscription means an awful lot, so thank you. Glad to hear you're doing well, G-Slayer. Getting ready to take off from Golf Echo Mike Lima and head up to Gibraltar following the North African coast. Of course, flying the beautiful P40 by Big Radials. Let's see. Big Tone, I did the Eric update today. Did a couple of tests that seemed good. Couldn't get the GTN 750 working though. The GTN 750, it's kind of tricky because you have to have the base installed whether you get the premium or not. Stutter's back. I'll hop on North Europe for a while. Roger. Yeah, I'm not even loaded in, so I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so load. We want flight plans, North Africa, Melilla to Gibraltar. I want to start on the ramp, not runway. We want to set the time to about about 8:45-ish. Roger that, Goblin. So this should be a nice flight on our last leg, going from Melilla to Gibraltar. So currently winds are 224 at 10 knots here in Melilla. It's saying winds in Gibraltar are 288 at 2 knots, so the wind should be nice when we get to Gibraltar. We'll probably go for the runway 27 or 28 or the easterly facing approach. Make sure we're good and we'll hit the fly button. Yeah, we'll see if I get the center when I load in. Ooh. Is concerning. Not in either, Roger. Yes, someone is flashing stutters. Uh-oh. Are you able to name or get a name and say, hey fella, what you doing? I'm not getting the death stutters yet. Ooh, there's a nice pre-war livery. Hit the B key. Farah Knox. So, Farah Knox, if you're in the chat and watching the stream, if you would be so kind to maybe either use a default livery or that came with whatever aircraft, or to maybe change into something a little closer to, you might be a local. Aha. Well, something he's doing seems. What's he in? Well, while that's going, I'm going to get the aircraft set up for takeoff. Flash and stop, no stairs. Aha. Very nice. Many thanks, Farah Knox 911. Do appreciate it greatly. I know it's a pain and an odd request, but, well, we're dealing with an interesting time with the sim. Oh, that won't do it. There we go. See, we got full rich, auto lean, fuel cutoff. When we're cruising, we're going to keep it in auto lean. That is very kind of you, Farah Knox, for doing that. Very kind. Okay, engine started. We're going to open up the cowl flaps. Much apologies, Fairnox. It's an odd request, and I apologize for it, but I do greatly. The Spitfire might not see interesting. That's interesting. Well, sorry about it, Farah. I do apologize. It's an unfortunate state that the sim is in right now. But you're very kind for doing that. See, Viper Strike, howdy, Kerfon won't be on the flight with you, but the scenery looks great, so how's the P40 working? P40's phenomenal. I'm having a good time with it. It was worth every penny. Alright, yep. There's a free, we're just waiting for it to actually roll. Roll, airplane. So we're going to start making our way to the runway. As Fairnox with the Tier 1 subscription, many thanks. That's very kind and generous of you, especially with our odd requests. So many thanks. That's very kind of you. We're going to kind of taxi along the road-ish. Oh, 100% there. We fly again on Thursday. Our schedule is Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 1900 Zulu time, or 3 p.m. Eastern. Well, Eastern U.S. Roughly 8 o'clock in the evening, Irish time. Or British Standard Time. Alright, so we're going to get lined up on the runway. I'm sorry, Thunderflies, I know I'm cutting in line. What's the old song? It's my stream and I can cut if I want to. Cut if I want to. You would cut too if it happened to you. Is that the song? Or am I thinking of something else? So we want 3 degrees up elevator. We want +2 rudder trim. Make sure everything's good to go. Directional gyro. It's something along those lines. So stick back. View enough to where I can see engine instruments. We're going to go up to 40 inches of manifold pressure. Compensate without letting it go too far the other way. Let the tail come up. Keep the wings level. There's 100, 110. Pull back on stick. We're up. Maintain steady. We've got a positive rate. Gear coming up. Yes, that song was Leslie Gore in the early 60s. Aha. So we'll switch hands a minute. Close the canopy. So we look back on the Thunderflies taking off. Ooh, getting bumped over the mountains. So we'll go ahead and back and tune our engine for cruise. Come back to 2500 RPM. That we go to 35 inches of manifold. Fine tune it. We bring the mixture back to auto lean as the Thunderflies pass on by. We retrim. Pardon me. And from here, we take a drink of water. And we continue on the magenta line on our way to Gibraltar for our final stop of the evening. Just look at that. Try not to get too high again in altitude. You can almost see France from here. We've got Racing Sloth, although I'm not sure if he's with us or not. Cat Bat 9, G Slayers, Scorpio, Papa Joe B, Druid Zeus, Brad Pilot Randy, Roger RC, Dougal McTavish is in. The Thunderflies. There's Randy Marsh and Whack-A-Mole. There's Johnny Aardvark. I'm going to make a quick pop into the cockpit to neutral the rudder trim. Now, one of the neat things about the P40 and the release, they actually released it with some STL files for those of you with 3D printers, where you can print off a throttle quadrant and a trim wheel setup that's just like what you find in the cockpit of a P40. I believe they're also doing something similar with the Spitfire. I know they've done at least the control stick for the Spitfire, and I want to say that they're doing throttle quadrants and trim wheels for that as well, among whatever else they're going to make for them, which is really freaking cool. For those of you with a DIY cockpit, I know that's something I'd like to do the trim wheel setup, even, you know, for anything, because having a proper wheel setup, is huge. Trim is such an important part of straight and level flight. Having the proper wheels for it, it's a game changer. It's kind of like getting a joystick for the first time, and rudder pedals. It's just a big step forward in being able to get precise control. As it seems, the Thunderflies are forming on me. You form the legs and arms, and I'll form the body and head. If you get that reference, you're awesome. Look at this. Modern meets classic. This is awesome. So, sometime soon when we maybe get one or two more warbirds, I will be planning a mock lip. Wow, that's someone that talks fast, kind of like Murph, Two-Tone Murphy, the mock lip. The mock loop, but with warbirds. Of course, jets will be welcome as well, but that was such a great flight. I can't wait to do it again. And I can't wait to do it with warbirds. Let's see. Alright, got that taken care of. Awesome. This is just epic, though. Look at this. The terrain, the flying, just absolutely insane. Now it's weird how if one MB339 starts phasing out, they all do. That's odd. What's nice though is the 339 can fly at similar speeds as the P40, so this works out very well. But this is just epic. Look at this. Look at this. We got Test Pilot 72. We got Steve Solo UK, Frozen, HC BR1100. That is Masonic Late, Wombat 49, Druid Zuth. There's Dougal McTavish in a Spitfire, Johnny Aardvark in another 339. We got Catbat 9, Scorpion, or Scorpio? Yes. Waspinator. Catbat 9, Druid Zeus, Whack-A-Mole, Roger RC, Kozaki's there, Arbachet there. This is awesome, dudes. Are you still on the original flight plan, or are you going direct to the next one? It's still following the flight plan. Ish. If you need to go direct, feel free. but I am with a margin of error following the magenta line. This is cool. Water is good for you, folks. Look at this. It's just... no, I was on the original line, but seemed to be on the list for... Interesting. I wonder if it did the whole flight plan bug and removed the waypoints. I need to upgrade my Bonanza Turbo to keep up with you guys. Any suggestion for a rookie simmer? Honestly, without getting into something like the TBM or the upcoming Piper Seneca, the Baron, or even any of the Warbirds, the MB339, those are going to be your best bets. As far as upgrading the Bonanza itself, it's probably not going to happen. Beyond that, and I'd like to stress, this is not going to be it's going to be a reoccurring thing, you know, flying the faster planes, but we'll definitely be spending more normal time in the lower and slower stuff. The MB339 is very easy to fly. It's a very forgiving jet. Honestly, it's one of the best things about the MB339 as the Thunderflies do their break. And the MB339 isn't that expensive either, so look at them, dude. They're just so good at what they do. We're going to lose some altitude because, well, we don't need to be at 6,000 feet. You know, I'm not against it. I'm definitely not against it. But I definitely wouldn't fly it at the same time as jets and 339s. I 100% agree, Roger. I wasn't much into jets either until the 339 came out and I started flying around with it. It's a nice little airplane. You put 150 knots wind behind. Aha! That's one way to do it. Sorry, I needed a moment with the music because it just fit. It was the right time and the right kind of music. We can almost see Spain from here. Look at this countryside, though. Isn't it beautiful? I keep saying that, but I just... Yeah, that's one thing they left off. Microsoft probably will have them remove the guns anyway. Because they have no guts. Which is why I will only buy things military related on third-party marketplaces such as simmarket.com, Just Flight, and others. Because Microsoft ends up neutering the warplanes like this. They neutered the Spitfire. They removed the cannons from it, which is a crying shame. But if you know the file system well enough, there's always a workaround. Why is it everybody wants to talk to me when I'm streaming? Like, if you want to talk to me, join the stream. Got a pair of spits on either side of Catbat and Dougal. That, and it's nice to support the developers directly, like Big Radio's buying it straight from them. They're not having to worry about other marketplace fees and that sort of thing, which can honestly account for a fair bit of the purchase price. Like, I couldn't tell you what the costs are to like Sim Market or Just Flight or to Microsoft, you know, and I don't know how they compare, but I'm sure there are differing amounts of fees and applications to be able to sell stuff on there and whatnot. Here's the Thunderflies. Look at those cliffs. This is glorious. If I might say, the flight sim's given a new appreciation for the world and just how beautiful it is. Because even if you fly around your hometown, if you've never flown before and you get to fly around your hometown, you get to really experience of, wow, you know, my town's a lot feels a lot, or it looks a lot smaller than it feels when you're on the ground. You know, things are a lot closer by, and it kind of, it's one of the things I love about flight in general, is it kind of gives you a new perspective on the world, and you know, maybe things aren't as bad as, you know, people want to tell you it is. You know, sure, we've got our problems, but when you get up in the air, it's, you can just forget all about it, and it's just you in the sky. And ATC when they need to talk at you. You know, it's not to say that the world's perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, the world's not as bad as people want to tell you it is. Okay, this one's completely off the mood. There we go. So you can see more flyers over in France and Spain as we get closer and closer to Gibraltar, the Jabroni. The world is a beautiful place. And the lighting is so good. You can see the seams and the panels and the rivets, and oh, it's so good. You know, they did such a wonderful job with the P40, especially the early model. You don't see too many of them. You see a lot of like P40Ns or, you know, the later models, the D and on. It's nice to see that they focused on the B model. It has such a unique look to it. France is very far from here is. Well, I can see the name tags of people flying off in the distance, so that's more of what I mean by you can see people flying in France. Just look, this is just, look at that riverbed. How it goes up into the mountains like that. While I'm thinking about it, check your fuel. Oh, I've got plenty. Have you tried the Aerostar Optica yet, freeware? No, I have not. It looks interesting, though. Southern Spain, Costa del Sol. Oh, fair enough. You can see Europe. How about that? It definitely looks like a great sightseer there, Papa Joe. I'll have to give it a whirl. There's the Thunderflies doing Thunderfly things. Just mind the mountain as Mount Serrat has followed. Many thanks. Greatly appreciated. I think you see Spain from here. Granada, Malaga. Yeah, probably. It's still Europe. I amend my previous statement to say you can almost see Europe from here. Or you can see people flying in Europe. Look at this, though. Murph, you got to do some flights up here. Because with your graphic setting, it's going to look a whole lot better. Look at this. This is just nuts. This is just crazy. Ooh, some sim stutterage. Stay with it, Sim. You got it. There you go. Weather change. Looks like A2A is ready to throw their hat in the ring with the Aerostar. I know they had mentioned a few weeks ago, towards the beginning of the month, about their Comanche. I know they were planning on doing the Aerostar, but with them having a belly up or a wheels up landing, they kind of needed to repair it first. But if they're gonna say that their Aerostar's in development too, well, good on them. Well, and I think Murph was showing off the Bell 47 the other night into the wee hours of the Irish morning, and it basically, the idea is that that has a flight model that's running outside of the Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it's working. So if they can manage to do that, and it, you know, does well with sales and whatever, it's going to open a floodgate for, you know, developers of higher end systems, as far as more in-depth systems, I guess, to be able to run different physics and this and that and the other thing, and it's going to open a kind of a floodgate of, hey, we can still do this with the state that it's in. And when the core sim itself gets better fixed after the DX12 comes out and gets sorted, you know, then they'll do more updating to it then. But for now, they'll be able to do the things that they want to do. It'll just have something running outside of the sim. Nice. How'd you manage that, Viper? Look at him go. Frozen, I'm in the spit VR. Sorry, didn't see your question before. So good. My what? When did I get a RTX 3080? This is news to me. I mean, if the other colonel doesn't want it, I'll take it gladly. I used Sumo because I wanted to get a... Aha. I mean, unless... Is there another Colonel Fork? I want to meet this imposter. I will gladly take the 3080 that is going out to Colonel Fork, because I am totally that Colonel Fork. Yes. Indeed. Ah. Shoot, I don't even know if I have a PSU capable of handling a 3080. It's only 750 watts. This is so neat. It was in Fabio's stream this morning and he mentioned the Colonel. Unless he hasn't told me yet, that's the only... I mean, maybe? This is Fort Noob. I know Fort Noob won one. Dougal McTaffeth with a smile, which is now I'm even more confused. Deep Future is here. Good to see you, dude. Hope you're well. It's a humble set of specs, and they seem to run the sim okay so far. Oh yeah. That was Fort Noob. He won the Newegg Shuffle, and then he got a pair of monitors with it. I mean, that's still cool. I mean, I wouldn't mind getting like a AMD 6800 XT. That'd be kind of nice. That'd be a nice upgrade. How to turn your computer into a space heater in no time flat. How's the fuel? I might go ahead and switch tanks early. Let them go. There's Yardbark joining in with the Thunderflies. The new P40 Intergalactic model. Nicely done, gents. Ooh. We're going to drop back to 30 inches of manifold pressure. Going to keep the RPMs at 2,500-ish. Nice, Dougal. It's mighty pretty up here at about 4,000 too. It's just, this is just an epic part of the world. So we're getting ever so much closer. You can practically see Gibraltar from here. So that is the Airport Golf Mike Tango November.
That feels good.
See the clouds over the mountains? They're pretty. All the clouds are pretty. Oh, we got another Corsair. That's just so cool. think once we get a DC-3, we're gonna have to plan some flights into Casablanca. That'd be fun. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. That's a nice beach. This is just nuts. I'm telling you. That's just, it's so cool. So we're going to turn right a bit, because I believe that right there is Gibraltar. We're okay to continue in our shallow descent. Okay, so what is guitar 4? Our last landing at LXGB. LXGB. Whoops. 230 at 10. So let us check this out. LXGB. Okay, so top down radar, top down. What do they have against ATIS frequencies? Do they not have any kind of weather reporting station frequency? Come on, man. These beaches are rated for float planes? 100%. There's a heliport down here. Just begging to be fancied up a bit. So it sounds like we're going to take runway 27. We're going to have a flyby of the carrier, though. 260. Yeah, so we want 11. 11 what? We want runway. I don't know where 11 came from. It just. Runway 27. Sounds like a plan that we should do. But we're going to. Good. 11 knots. Ooh. Yeah, that's probably it. So we're going to open the canopy. So we've requested permission to buzz the tower, to which they said no, the pattern is full. So what are we going to do? We're going to do it anyway. We're not going to try to land on it. But we're definitely going to give them a flyby. There we go. That's how we do that. And a victory roll. Woo! So we're going to start dialing back the power, getting ready for final approach. Prop goes full forward, mixture goes full rich. Power comes back, nose goes up. Speed comes back, which is what we want it to do. This is definitely a tricky approach because if you go too slow, you end up in the ocean. You go too fast and can't stop in time, you end up in the ocean. So you gotta get it just right. So there's 170 gears coming down. Tram goes up so we can maintain some elevator authority. Gears coming down. Notch of flaps coming in, or going down, I should say. Nothing like this. This song's definitely getting into oh crap. Yeah, kind of gets the blood running. There's Draco going in. Red Pilot Randy flying over. Kozaki Flyer ahead, Whack-A-Mole. One more notch of flaps. Trim down, maintain speed. Add a little bit of power. Okay, we're almost lined up with the runway. We're a little high on the glide slope yet. Put one more notch of flaps in. There's the Thunderflies. So on the runway, we're going to start decreasing power. We're high on the glide slope. Elevator trim up. Watch that speed. Add a little bit of power. Add a lot of power. Oh dear. Okay, start bringing that power back. Last notch of flaps over the displace threshold. Stick back. Oh, some frame stutterage. Oh, the frame rate. Oh, why you gotta do this to me, Sim? Oh, what a time to have frame rates do their thing. Tap on the brakes to keep her straight. Woo! They're not the Death Stutters, but they almost were. Alright, so we'll make our stop here. Mixture goes off, mags off, lights off, everything electric off. And now we hit the get into the drone cam. That's the fuel. I don't want the fuel, I want the camera. Speed. I need speed. There we go. So, runway 27. Open for landings. Will hide me. We got Dougal down, we got Druid down, we have Kozaki down. There's a Spitfire of Rad Pilot Randy. Oh, hang on to it, Randy. Hang on to her. There's a TBM of Papa Joe. There's the Thunderflies being the Thunderflies. Nicely done. There's Draco in. There's G-Slayer and a Mooney. Catbat 9 in a spit. So once we're all landed, we're stand by for a raid. It really was, Kozaki. It really defeated my expectations. I mean, I didn't really have any expectations, but it sure exceeded them quite expertly. Oh, we still have a lot of folks coming in. Yardvark, Whack-A-Mole, Sean Legaman, Roger RC, Scorpio, all coming in. Ooh, bit of a bounce for Whack-A-Mole. It was really great, Dougal, wasn't it? We'll let everybody get down. What a beautiful, picturesque scene as Roger RC lands the Corsair. Massive thanks to the 100%. Without the Thunderflies, I would be very boring. The credit really goes out to the Thunderflies, all of you, especially those who've stuck around from the raids that we got. Massive thanks to you all. You're all legendary folks. The amount of support that you all have given me has been tremendous. You know, I'm incredibly grateful for it. Without you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. Well, I might be doing it, but I'd be a lot more lonely. Y'all have really made a positive impact on my life, and I am incredibly grateful for each and every one of you. You take care, Papa Joe. Here come the boys. I won't move the camera now that I know they're coming. Look at them. You too, Draco. That's epic. Thank you, Catbat9, for being here and being a legend. We got G-Slayer inbound. In the Mooney. Got a boat out there. Oh, 100% Dougal. Scorpio, we visited Gibraltar 20 plus years ago, saw the Barbary Marquez. They'll climb on you looking for food. G-Slayer in with a beautiful landing. You have a good one, Catbat. Thank you, Kozaki. So, with that said, a little too close for the frames. So again, a huge thank you to all of you for the raids, for the new follows, for the new subs, for lurking in the chat, for chatting in the chat, for flying along. Thank you all very much for being awesome and flying along with me and just participating with the stream. It's been huge. It's been great. I've enjoyed every second of it. Even in the rough times when the sim wants to act funny, it's still amazing. I appreciate you all. We're gonna do a raid here in a bit, but that said, until next time, be good to each other, stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Take care.